everyone? Welcome to episode 97 of Formidable Opponents, a show that pits three people who have known each other virtually their entire lives in a series of conversations as we argue what is best in a variety of fun, engaging, and critical pop culture topics we all debate about. I'm Randall, and with me as always, Bob and Joseph, and this week's topic is Most Obsessive Song. We are glad you've paused carefully scrolling through your ex's social media pictures to join us today. Guys, I'm sure she's as lovely as the day you met. And ladies, yes, he's fatter and balder. Obsession is a common part of people's lives. It can evolve into urges, deep stinging emotions, and as we have learned this week, some really good and really bad songs. There's an outlier for this week's topic. Normally, we discuss and debate what is best or what is worst, but this week is a little different. Why? Because some of these songs, although dark, profound, and meaningful, are timeless classics. Some, however, are cringeworthy trash that completely miss the mark. It's the misconceptions that allow us to bypass so many of these rhythmic and tonally exceptional songs and sink into their fervor. Granted, some of these songs are obviously about obsession, and many provide cautionary tales through third-person perspective, but it doesn't change the fact that there lies within some deep-seated dark emotions. Obsession past any certain point can be both harmful, and as we'll find out through these selections, they can also be comedically unintentional. This week, Formidable Opponents discusses and debates Most Obsessive Song. With me, as always, are two guys who also wrote many obsessive fan letters to Eminem, the chocolate candy company, not the rapper. Bob and Joseph, how are you guys doing?
Man, you suck. They do have rappers.
I really struggled through that opening like I've never struggled before.
Like you don't know how many, you all at home, you all don't know how many times Randy's going to cut that.
Talk about obsessive.
I should have put some commas in there. That would have helped to guide me.
I think there was too many.
I know it sounded all nice and smooth, but it wasn't. It was it screwed up.
It was really a bad intro. I'll admit that.
It's okay. No, we're all good. They're going to hear some beautiful. Yeah. And by the way, he meant stalker, folks, but we're going to go obsessive.
Yeah. Let's
Calvin Klein.
First off, howdy, y'all. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah.
Let's talk like we're from Texas.
Yeah. We don't have an accent. Sorry, guys. I know.
I am
Curious minds may want to know, but we don't have an accent down here in South Texas.
I am for this one episode. We sure are. I'll tell you what.
Joseph was on the pilot of Hey Dude, but he didn't make the final cast.
Make it. Nope. They done passed over me.
How was your week there, Joseph?
Oh, well, it's pretty good, pretty.
Why didn't you talk like this during the 90s country episode? It would have made for great fucking listening.
You'd have heard from a lot of cousins. Yes.
Good. Good. Everybody's good. Everybody's
It's not good. It hasn't been a good week. I caught COVID this past week, so I've been home alone. And you know what the worst part of
Thursday? We don't usually record.
Yeah, you want to know what the worst part of this whole week's been? It hasn't just been the COVID, being sick. I had to go drop off my kids at school, and you had to do it very carefully and kind of let them off and wear my mask, and I had to stand off to the side while they walk in through the sidewalk and everything on their own. And I'm like standing there. I'm standing there, and they're walking in. I'm standing in the grass. They're walking in. And I walk to my truck, and I was standing in wet grass, so I step on my step to get onto my truck, and I slip and I fall on my ass in front of everybody else that's there in the fucking parking lot. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, God, what did I do, dude? I mean, this is karma coming back to get. Did I do something? Did I offend somebody so bad? Got COVID, got sick, just like in the house, then I slip and fall on my ass in front of everybody. So it hasn't been my week. I need a lucky rabbit's foot, or I need to drop a penny in a well or something.
For those of y'all at home keeping track of our weather, yes, it did rain. It rained a little bit. So
yeah,
there's some slipperiness.
And now it's back to 103.
Yep.
So guys, speaking of, well, I can't segue into that. You guys totally, hijacked this episode. But all right, guys, let's talk a little bit about obsessive song. So we decided to go with this topic, and it was a difficult title to come up with because we were talking about songs about stalkers, songs that are cringeworthy, and now we settled on obsessive songs, and there was so many of them. So guys, give me your definition of what defines an obsessive song.
Some lyrics that as you'll see, like how maybe when I get into my selection, and kind of how you discussed in your opening that you chopped up a bit
It'll sound good to everybody else.
A good song, defining the definition of an obsessive song is probably one that you didn't even really know it was an obsessive song. It's probably a song that you've been jamming. I like how you talked about that, Rand. That's the good aspect of these songs. There's obviously the ones that are like super obvious and whatnot, but there's a lot of songs that when we went back, and I know that when we were doing, the research for this, there's songs that I didn't even realize, like once you really give it a good listen, it's a little bit out there. So, I think that's what defines an obsessive song. That sort of like hidden meaning of obsession. It's crazy.
Yeah, I agree 1,000,000%. Like, there's plenty of songs that I've listened to, even some upbeat shit that I've been singing my whole life, that I was like, when you really delve into the lyrics, you're like, holy shit, this is about that? This is about a dude like being creepy, or like, oh my God. Like, I think the lyrics, like paying attention to the lyrics, and it's not so much in those like really slow, like heartfelt songs where you hear pain in the artist's voice. So you're like, you really do listen to the lyrics in those songs. It's those upbeat like songs that you've been singing and dancing and fucking cruising to the past 20 years. That way, when we get into our honorable mentions, I'll name a few, but like that you've been listening to forever. Then you like really start to pay attention to what the lyrics are, and you're like, what the fuck?
And what's weird about this, and how Bob just said, songs that you've been listening to for decades, and this will be a nice little segue after you say what you're going to say, Ran. Why are a lot of these songs in the 80s?
That's exactly what I had in my notes. To me, and I think I have an answer for that, and I think you guys know what it is. So, it's all about want. Cocaine. It is cocaine, yeah. Not being able to obtain what you desire, obviously. I think what a lot of musicians tap into is heartbreak, and in cringier examples, more like fantasy. And I think the height of this was the 80s, because, yes, it was a decade about consumption and about want and about greed. So I think when you want something and you can't have it, well, you're going to express yourself artistically and write a song about, want, greed, lust, and obsession. So I think that's why the 80s was such a milestone decade for these songs.
Yeah, I agree with that 1,000,000%. Plus, there was no Snapchat or Instagram or Facebook or any of that shit where you could look at somebody else's pictures and obsess over somebody. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you didn't have the luxury of looking up anybody. It was all about memory, thought, and mind.
Unless you had a phone book.
Yes, exactly.
The fucking yellow pages. There's some 20-year-olds right now. They're like, "What the fuck's a phone book?
Exactly.
You mean your contacts?"
Back in the days, 20-year-olds, they used to drive by your house and throw a big ass paper yellow book in your front yard, and that's what you used to find people.
And you only used it for like Pizza Hut or whatever.
Pizza Hut, yeah. Coupons.
It took us a while to come up with a title for this topic, as we mentioned. Exes, stalkers, fanatics. This captures so many populations. Why has obsession been a popular theme in music?
Rough estimate. This is just my estimate. 80% of, no, not 80, 50. Let's go 50. Half of the music written today or back then is in some form or another about love, lost love. It's a feeling that I think everybody has at one point or another, whether you want to admit it or not. We all know that you've had a moment in your life where you were a little obsessive. I think we've all kind of had that feeling. We've all had that, like, what the fuck's going on? Like, you want to know more. You kind of get a little... It's kind of easy to write about because everybody's had that feeling. Everybody's kind of experienced it.
Most songs are about love, or finding love or losing love. So it's only fitting that people would start writing songs about someone that they're obsessed over, or somebody that they wish that they had. Look at Jesse's Girl. I wish I had Jesse's Girl. It was inevitable that it was bound to go that way. Not just the person that you're loving or the person that you lost, but the person that you might fall in love with, or the person that you hope to fall in love with. So I think that's where this kind of obsessive / stalker genre or song genre kind of creeped into.
I mean, who did we just talk about recently? The most famous girl that had songs written about her, and writing it. Speaking of Jesse's Girl, writing songs about somebody else's, your friend's, wife or whatever. What was her name? I can't remember her name.
Patty.
Layla. Yeah, we just talked about Patty Boyd and Layla.
Patty Boyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was about to say Patty LaBelle.
Her too. I love her.
I mean, some of the biggest names in music had those exact feelings that we're talking about. Writing a fucking song about.
I can't fight these feelings anymore.
Yes. And you know, I think a lot of people relate to having love and lost or never loving at all. I think it's relatable because when you longer you hurt, when you longer you hurt, you look for something that unifies that pained expression. Even though these songs are by nature, they're cringy, many people have related and enjoyed them because at healthy levels, it's fine. But if you're calling 867-5309 to talk to Jenny because somebody wrote her name on the bathroom wall, then it becomes an issue. Then it becomes obsession. Sorry.
You just don't know what Jenny has to offer, sir.
So lastly, guys, let's talk about a song that is obsessive or isn't obsessive. Lionel Richie's Hello was on many lists that I read on. In your opinion, is this a song about obsession?
No, man. Lionel Richie is a saint. He's a fucking saint. It's definitely a song about a guy that's in love with his girl, with a girl. I could see it in your eyes. Have you ever looked into his eyes? Fucking beautiful, man. Fucking beautiful. Yeah.
Fiesta. Forever. I've never really seen it that way. It's and if you believe that it is, we would love to. We'd love to hear your take when we please message us or respond to some of our posts and let us know why you think this is. Rand, did you think it was?
No, I don't think it was, but I think a lot of people felt like remember the scene where she creates the sculpture that looks nothing like Lionel Richie, but I mean, of course, she's got a disability, but Lionel lies about it, says he loves it, but of course he's going to lie about it because if you're in love with someone, she could bake you cookies and you have to lie and say they're the greatest cookies you've ever eaten. So I don't think this is about obsession at all. So I was baffled by this being on so many lists. I think it's two consenting adults. I think it's Lionel Richie falling in love with someone who
falls in love with him too.
Yeah.
Just can't, do the airplane thing with his cereal because she'll miss him and hit him in the face.
But if you think it is, please let us know. We'd love to hear your
stupid joke, but it made Randy laugh. That's okay.
By the way, he doesn't really have to try those cookies. He can just say that he ate them.
How is she gonna know? He's gonna say, these are delicious, and put them in his pocket, throw them away later. His pants are too tight for pockets, by the way, Joseph.
All right, guys, let's go to our honorable mentions. Bob, what do you got for us?
Okay, let's start off strong. Adele with Hello from the Other Side. Yes. I thought you were some other guy. That should have been the next lyric. Blondie, One Way or Another. Now, this is one of the songs I was mentioning earlier. That I've listened to this song for like 20 years, and until I actually read the lyrics, I was like, holy shit. Little bit over the top. If you've never read the lyrics to Blondie's One Way or Another, it's pretty trippy, dude. It's definitely a over obsessive song. Eminem, Stan, I think that should be on everybody's list. That was one of the ones. I mean, great fucking music video and everything like that. Pretty crazy. I'll mention your favorite band, Joseph, Radiohead, Creep, because he's a creep. He's a weirdo. Number 4, maybe you don't have this one on your list, Rand or Joseph, but you should. Garbage, Number 1 Crush. Listen to the lyrics for that one. I would die for you. I would die for there's some pretty obsessive stuff. Yeah, it's a great fucking song, dude. It's one of our, and then I'll end off, of course, with Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, because it's almost Halloween.
Yes, Paranoia. Joseph, what do you got for us?
Great use of that song in that Romeo and Juliet movie remake. Anyway,
Somebody's Watching Me?
No. The
Number 1 Crush.
Yeah, Number 1 Crush.
Yeah.
I too had Stan as well. Yes, of course. I mean, different kind of obsessive, but great song nonetheless. I don't like this song, but if you listen to Hey There Delilah, Plain White Tees, I mean, dude, let it go, dude. Delilah don't give a fuck.
By the way, Joseph
stop writing a song for every day. Stop fucking writing a letter and a song for every day. She don't give a shit.
I think that's mutual love, but okay, we'll let it slide.
I don't think it is. I think
too much eyeliner.
I think Delilah's at home like, this guy got a fucking clue. Anyway,
your hair out of your eyes.
I got Possum Kingdom, Toadies. It's there. It's there.
Yeah, I agree.
Serial killer or vampire? Did we finish the debate?
It was
cult member. Yes,
I can't remember what it was. Although I hate the song, like I said, like Bob said too, it fits the vibe. Creep by Radiohead, of course.
Yeah.
Jesse's Girl, Rick Springfield. Come on, bro. Jesse was a friend of yours. What the fuck are you thinking?
How could he love a woman like that?
He's been a good friend of yours.
Yeah, dude.
She should be with me.
And finally, the song I just remembered maybe 30 minutes ago, the song that I would have picked tonight had I remembered it, Eat You Alive by Limp Bizkit. I love this fucking song. Very much fits the profile of this topic, and I am so pissed off that not only did I miss the opportunity to talk about Limp Bizkit, but I missed the opportunity to make Randy listen to Limp Bizkit.
No, thank you.
Write about Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, y'all don't even know the reason why he kept messing up, because he put his hat on backwards and he was trying to do the Fred Durst like swinging his hand thing while he did his
Eat
intro.
You Alive by Limp Bizkit. One of my favorite songs. Definitely fits his profile. Explain that a little bit.
Was that one about Britney Spears as well?
No, actually.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it was.
See?
That's the one that supposedly was written about Britney Spears.
Britney Spears, yeah.
She could use help, yeah. So my honorable mentions, let's start off with the obvious. Obsession by Animotion. It's a good song. Are you guys old enough to remember Saturday Night's Main Event when Hulk Hogan used to, pose to this song when it kicked off Saturday Night's Main Event? I didn't realize it was such a odd, cringy song. Most obsessive lyric, who do you want me to be to make you sleep with me? If that's not obsession, I don't know what that is. Don't You Want Me by the Human League. So the male singer of this song is pissed because the waitress he saved became a huge music star, and he's like, hey, I discovered you. You belong to me. So narcissistic. And the female is saying, I still have great memories of us. Thank you for helping me. We had a good time. Memories to last a lifetime, but I've moved on. Then the guy's like, how dare you succeed without me? He's so narcissistic, immature, and jealous. I love a good synth drop, and you can dance to it. If I play this song in a retro 80s bar, there are a lot of 40-year-old plus women drunk off their asses, maybe not in the best shape, but they own this song when it plays. I had Jenny, Tommy Two-Tone, a stranger harasses you by writing your number on the bathroom wall. Some psychopath memorizes the number and has us all memorizing the number. I had One Way or Another by Blondie. Here's another great one. I don't know if you guys thought of this one. To Be With You by Mr. Big. Let me write a song about a girl who I'll be there for as soon as she stops fucking around with all these other guys. I'll be there.
What a pussy.
The last in line. You Ought to Know by Alanis Morissette. We all thought this was a powerful, full-scale assault on infidelity and an uprising of a woman who wasn't going to stand for it. Then we found out who it was all about, and we were like, really? Okay, Joey.
Mr.
Okay.
Coulier, baby.
Hungry Like the Wolf by Duran Duran. I had Stan by Eminem. This was almost my pick. Hero and Celebrity Obsession. Kudos to Devin Zawa. Should have had a bigger career. I mean, he was great in this video. I think he should have been a bigger star. And then I had I'm on Fire by Bruce Springsteen. I wish this song opened up another way because everything is great about this song except the opening lyric. Have you guys seen the Pete Holmes clip? Hey, little girl, is your daddy home?
I think I have. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, love Pete Holmes, by the way. It's, I can't remember what comedy special it is, but yeah.
He talks on Conan O'Brien. He does a great bit on Conan O'Brien and says, why am I hearing this in a Chipotle? He also wails on Neil Diamond's Girl, You'll Be a Woman Soon, so add that to the list. The older you get, the song just keeps getting creepier and creepier. You hear it as a kid, okay, I don't understand it. At 40, you're nearly driving off the road trying to change the radio dial when it comes on. I don't want to subject my family to this song. I Want You to Want Me by Cheap Trick. Studio version is not so good, but the concert version is amazing from live at the Budokan. The thing about Cheap Trick is that they have 4 members, 2 good-looking guys, the lead singer and the bassist, and 2 not-so-attractive guys, the guitarist and the drummer. So you don't know whether to be turned on or creeped out by this song. I don't know how these guys found each other, but they're a band and they made it big for a while.
But they belong together.
Private Eyes by Hall & Oates. It just, gives off gangbang energy. I don't know.
It's the mustache. It's the mustache.
You're Beautiful by James Blunt. I just hate that song. Missing You by John Waite. Any song by Chicago in the 80s when the whole band is having a midlife crisis. Keep on Loving You by REO Speedwagon. A song about a guy not caring all about the other guys his girlfriend slept with. REO Speedwagon started off as a protest rock band. They're very political. They slipped into ballad rock when Kevin Cronin wrote this song, and most of the band didn't like it. Guitarist Gary Richrath added the guitar solo to make it sound like rock. Then years later, Cronin stuck again with I Can't Fight This Feeling Anymore, and I'm sure the band now felt that they were just a rock ballad band. I know most of them didn't like it. Their identity was redefined, but this song put them on the map. And then shout outs to our friend Keeb. He wrote Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. So good songs all around.
80s, man. What the fuck?
80s. It's 80s dominated.
Jeez.
Okay, Bobby Joseph, if you could have more of something, what would it be?
Energy.
Energy, focus, maybe, right? What if I told both of you guys, and I'm telling all the listeners as well, there's a product we're excited to share with everyone that promotes clarity and energy. I'm talking about Magic Mind. It's a perfect blend of natural ingredients that elevates your mood, keeps you focused, and even distresses you. And can you believe all this from a tiny but powerful little bottle, these cool little shots? I love my coffee, but it doesn't get me the boost I need, right? I hate these so-called energy drinks. What do you all think about energy drinks? Are you guys big fans? Because I'm really not.
I'm just not a big fan of the crash.
Yeah,
You know
the crash, right?
Yeah, the real reason we go for our energy drinks so we can keep going, stay up, stay focused, stay energized, and it is always that big crash that gets me.
And it's all the same. There's so many of them, but they all do the same thing. I mean, you're trying to be selective. You're trying not to, do I want the one with no sugar? Do I want the one with zero this and that? But I mean, basically, in the end, like Bob says, they all do the same. You end up crashing.
I hate the cans too. The cans look like they're going to a heavy metal concert and would threaten to fight you if you looked at their girlfriend. Bad aftertaste. They leave you jittery, full of sugar. And the crash, you guys are right. It's over. But with Magic Mind, none of that happens. You get sustainable, focused, mental clarity and calm in a small little bottle. Let me share it with you guys how I drink it. You can take it as a shot. You can sip it. But I like to get a little creative. I go to a coffee shop of choice and I order an iced matcha latte. 1 shot of espresso, 2 pumps of brown sugar. If I'm feeling a little extra wild, I pour in my Magic Mind bottle and it blends so well and it matches the flavor and it's delicious and it keeps me energized and focused all day. And I want to encourage our audience to do themselves a favor. Go to magicmind.com/opponents for a huge special discount on Magic Mind because we love our listeners and we want you to feel clear, calm, and focused. Don't do a one-time purchase, everybody. Do the subscription. Trust me on this. The boost just kept on going. It just felt great drinking this stuff. Magic Mind, it never stops surprising you. Hey, if you're not satisfied, they offer you 100% money back guarantee. What other company is going to offer you that? No questions asked. That's how confident Magic Mind is. That's how confident we are that you will love what Magic Mind does for you. Once again, that's magicmind.com/opponents. That link is in our show notes. Click it and stay dialed in, not wired. That's Magic Mind, everybody. We're going to go on with our selections. Joseph, you're first. What do you got for us?
To be fair, I've always known this song. It's to be fair. It's obviously very catchy. It's got a good beat. It's an 80s song. It's obviously, how could it not be a hit? It's not my normal genre of choice though. So I've heard it and I've always had a good time hanging out and listening to it, singing the chorus, the main line, obviously. But other than that, I've never paid attention to the lyrics until now. I'm talking about Corey Hart's Sunglasses at Night. All right. I always assumed it had something to do with him being, kind of a little bit of a bitch. It's always giving me that whiny vibe. Like, I'm so sad. I cry all the time. I have to wear my sunglasses at night because I'm crying all the time in bed or, at the club. That whole story. Hell, maybe he's even coked out, like we just discussed earlier.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Gotta hide the coke eyes. It was the 80s, obviously, right? But no, he wears his sunglasses at night so he can watch you weave, then breathe your storyline. What the fuck, man? I mean, I wear my sunglasses at night so I can keep track of the visions in my eyes. Like, that whole thing is fucking crazy. The whole vibe of this song changes when you like actually go into the lyrics, like I did recently. He's stalking her, watching her, keeping his face covered with sunglasses. She deceives me. Did she lie to you and you're following her, or do you feel like she lied to you and now you're following her wearing your sunglasses? Don't masquerade with the guy in shades. Is that a threat? Is that a thinly?
Did he snap his fingers at him? Don't masquerade. I think he snapped his fingers while he said that.
Don't masquerade with the guy in shades. I mean, it sounds very like that's a threat. You had it made with the guy in shades. Is he trying to say, like, what is he trying to say there? Like you had it made with me and now you're fucking around or some shit like that. This whole song is crazy cycle. It really is. Now, I'm not sure if we were here to argue the best as in mine sounds the creepiest. I just know I'm just now asking that question. And I mean, the name of the album that the song is on is called First Offense. I mean, come on. That's fucked up. But aside from that factor of the song, the whole creepiness vibe, it's a good tune, good beat, perfect for the style of the 80s. Obviously, it sounds so fucking 80s. I see pink and green fluorescent lights in my head and people dancing the robot to it when I hear it in the discotheque. Number 7 on the Hot 100. I know that's not a big thing, but it is a very popular song. You can't tell me this isn't a popular song. You can't tell me that you don't fucking, your face doesn't light up when you suddenly hear it come on. If that matters, if the numbers matter to you, then, so be it. It's very heavy synth. So it's how could it not be popular in the 80s? If you don't focus on the lyrics, it's a good song. You do. Like I said, you smile when it comes on, the playlist, you have a good time, you groove to it. If you're focusing on the lyrics, you might not like it very much and it might completely change your opinion of it. But that's my selection, guys. What do you got?
We make a common joke. We make a consistent joke on this show about everybody in the 80s did cocaine. Not everybody. There are people in the 80s who didn't do cocaine. They're called elementary school kids.
They're called librarians.
So there are still people who wear sunglasses at night. They are either called migraine sufferers or assholes. And I think U2's Bono falls into both categories. I'm not sure. So Corey Hart is a Canadian who never really made the leap in the U.S. Kind of like Hayden Christensen. Never Surrender was his other hit, but it had that sort of ice skater training for the Olympics montage energy. So never surrender.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Great 80s.
That's a great song. I'm changing my pick.
So this is a cool moment Corey Hart shared in an interview in 2012. He was at a crowded rental shuttle bus in Miami, and they were playing 80s music. China Girl from David Bowie was fading out. Sunglasses at Night started to play with that signature hypnotic intro riff, that dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and people were tapping their feet, and he glanced over at his daughter, and they both smiled. So great guy. I mean, if he's still happy that this song is still being enjoyed, I think that's all that matters at this point for Corey Hart. I remember this on a 2010 Miller Lite Man Up commercial when the guy wears his sunglasses at a bar and the song comes out at the end. He tries to deny that he likes it, but he later starts to sing it. Do you guys remember that? That's not my song. Commercial.
I think so.
I first heard this song on a show called Night Tracks on TBS. So the show Night Tracks, for those of you who grew up in the 80s, it was a half-hour show that would play about 3 or 5 videos, and there was a voiceover intro. It wasn't a studio show. So I remember hearing this song, and it was unlike anything I had heard. I'm not saying that's a compliment or an insult. It was just very different. The 80s were so different, especially with fashion trends. So when this song became popular, it gave cocaine users a reason to cover their eyes at night. Like, I'm wearing sunglasses at night because of the song, not because of my terrible habit. Okay,
my glaucoma.
This song reveals the story of a man who watches a woman but reports visual hallucinations. He says that the sunglasses can help him keep track of the vision in his eyes. Just like every other 80s song or video, I think this was very inspired by the drug we talked about earlier, cocaine. It's like Blade Runner meets Midnight Express meets Escape from New York, but with sunglasses. If you watch this video, Corey Hart looks a bit like a young Harrison Ford. So it's a little hard to buy the obsession thing when you're a heartthrob, and no pun. My problem is that Corey Hart, too good looking for this song. If Rick Ocasek from The Cars or Gary Newman, who sang Cars, sang this song, yes, it would be the obsession and creep factor, but I think Corey Hart is just too good looking for us to buy that he's obsessed with somebody. He may be suffering.
Corey, call me.
He may be suffering from obsession, but he looks like the type of guy that girls would say, I can help him. I can fix him. I can change him. He's got sunglasses, an apartment, and cool hair. What more do you need in the 80s? This song is so unapologetically 80s. I was never a big fan of the song. I think its popularity was created because it launched a style initiative, not because of its content. It's a commercial. It's just not a deeply involved song for me. So while I get it is about obsession, I felt that the sort of Kish sort of mood with the sunglasses kind of took away from that. I think it just became too popular for me. What do you think, Bob?
Yeah, I agree with you. He's handsome. Yeah. The lyrics definitely, I mean, this is another song you mentioned, like when you hear it, you just think it's like a party song. Like I wear my sunglasses at night. You probably had a lot of people in the 80s, a lot of high school kids. Yeah, mimicking this look, the jean jacket with the sunglasses at night, cruising in their dad's Camaro, you know what I mean? So I think that it was a very popular song. But yeah, I agree, Josie, you dive into the lyrics, man, and it's pretty crazy. Like she's deceiving me. It cuts my security. Has she got control of me with a question mark? Like who writes questions in a damn song? I turn to her to say, and then he's like yelling at her. But really, who the fuck is he yelling at? He's probably yelling at his rearview mirror in his dad's Camaro, right? I think it's a very, very good song. I just think that this guy is like in love with a chick that just doesn't know he exists, or that's blowing him off. So it definitely fits the obsessive vibe. It just doesn't give off a creepy vibe. It just sounds like a really sad dude. He's like, look how cool I am. Pay attention to me. I just want to take you out for an ice cream or something cool. Yeah, but I think a lot of people, the drug culture definitely use this as a as their go-to. They put the song on, you get 30 sunglasses on, nobody notice that you're high off your ass or your pupils are dilated. But it's a good pick, Joseph. It's a good pick. It's one of my favorite songs of the 80s.
I know people talk about the potential, and Randy mentioned it, the drug vibe to it, maybe, with the hallucinations. I think adding to the aura of the song, I think he's so obsessed he's seen shit. That's the vibe I get from the story.
He's making up scenarios in his head.
He's making up scenarios. He's so obsessed with this woman that she's probably not doing anything crazy, but in his mind, and he's like, oh, she fucking touched that guy, shook her hand, and if fucking visions just start rolling through his head. He's so obsessed with this girl, and I know it could be drugs too. Like I know that's a thing that's mentioned, and we mention it. And I know we joke, but let's I'll try to not make another joke about it.
Cocaine.
Try. But so there's that too. But I think it kind of adds to, and like I said, I'm not sure what we're trying to what the criteria is. I think this because I selected it because of the story and it also being a good song. Like I mentioned, it's catchy as hell. I mean,
well, Joseph, I think what's lost on a lot of people is that Sunglasses at Night, we took it literal because of the video. It's a metaphor. Yeah. When you wear sunglasses, you usually wear them on a nice sunny day, right? So he's wearing sunglasses at night because he's envisioning a better life for himself. Like he wishes he could see the sunlight and the sunshine by wearing these glasses, but these glasses he's wearing them in the dark when it's just, he's miserable and lonely and obsessing about this woman, but he wishes things were different. That's why he wears those sunglasses as an interpretation that I wish I had sunny, bright days ahead of me, but I don't.
Wish we could see his beautiful eyes. He needs to take off the sunglasses. He's a handsome man.
Corey Hart's gonna listen to this. Like, you guys thought way too much fucking about this.
You should have just stuck with the cocaine argument. You've been perfectly fine.
It was about cocaine, not about all the metaphor shit that you guys are trying to read into.
Anyway, I love that story.
Bob, what do you got for us?
Oh man, this was an easy choice for me. I went with The Police. Every breath you take, every piece of cake, every pie you cake, every milk you shake, I'll be watching you. Yeah. What's more obsessive than a dude from London who goes by a single name, dressed in black, playing a standing bass, and saying over and over again, I'll be watching you? That kind of sexy stuff. I know a few other dudes that go by one name: Dahmer, Bundy, Prince. No, not all good people, dude. So as you can see, you belong to me. That's the first thing a serial killer would say when they have you trapped in their home or in a spot. You belong to me. It definitely gives off that creepy, super serial killer vibe.
With the ocean in the basket.
And this is a song that I always thought of, when people hear this song, automatically think, oh, it's a beautiful love song. I'll be watching you. Or somebody. But no, it gives off a creepy, creepy vibe, dude. Every single day, every word you say, every game you play, obviously there's something going on that's not making Sting so happy, right? With his lyrics, every game you play, that's such a strong and powerful lyric. Something's going on. I feel like he's on the outside looking in. And that's why he's like, I'll be watching you. You can't see me. You can't see. You belong to me. My poor heart aches. Every smile you fake. Like these lyrics, man, you really got to listen to them. You really got to read into them. There's something going on here with a girl, obviously, that he was in love with, a person that he was in love with. So I think that it's very creepy that he's like, I'll be watching you. And he says, I'll be watching you a shitload throughout this song. And P. Diddy or Puff Daddy or Puffy or whatever the fuck he goes by these days, I think he had it right when he changed the lyrics to I'll be missing you. I think that gave the song a little more like, oh, okay, there's a little more heart to it. It's a little more of a sad song. There's more feeling, by changing that little verse that I'll be missing you, but going back to the Police's version, I'll be watching you. It's just so creepy. If you ever start dating someone, this is some good advice for you young guys out there listening. You start dating somebody. The last thing I want you to say to your girl after the first date is, I'll be watching you, and then leave and see if you get a text message that night or a phone call back. Probably not. You'll probably get a restraining order. It's just not the phrase that a guy is supposed to use or someone's supposed to use when they're in love with somebody or they're, starting to date somebody or liking somebody. I'll be watching you every single day, every piece of cake. Yeah, it's kind of fucking creepy. So it just gives out that vibe to me. It's I think this is going to be hard to argue against. I'm sure Randy's got something good right now. What do you guys think about it?
We're going to talk a lot about Sting in this argument. I want to ask you guys a side question. Who's your favorite one-name celebrity? Mine's Pele. What's yours?
The leg? Let me see. One-name celebrity. Okay. That's easy. No, it's kind of difficult.
That's kind of difficult. I'm glad you got one immediately, but
Joseph wants to go with The Rock.
No.
That's two names.
Rock. He goes by Rock now.
I don't know.
Well, think about it.
Right,
maybe at the end of this, you'll have the answer. Are we sure Sting was a great solo artist? Are we okay with this? Did the fact that he sang a song with Rod Stewart and Bryan Adams fool us into thinking he was a good solo artist? I wasn't a big fan of Sting's solo career. Other than Fields of Gold, what other Sting songs did you enjoy listening to? I can't name any other songs.
I didn't even like Fields of Gold. I like every little thing she does is magic, but that's what he was with the Police.
He's the Police. Joseph, any Sting songs that you enjoy?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I'd have to hear them. I mean, there might be, but no. I mean, I know a lot of.
There's nothing better than Roxanne, right? Roxanne, yeah.
He's known more, obviously for the Police.
Roxanne.
Obviously, he's known more for the Police.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know anything about Sting after the Police other than he practices Tantra. I know more about the way Sting fucks than what he sings, I mean,
first Corey Hall, now Sting. Jesus Christ, you're on a roll tonight.
He went to being in one of the most popular, thought-provoking bands to doing adult contemporary songs I can't name. I blame him for the Police breakup. If you name yourself after a verb, you're obsessed with yourself. The Police, they were so good. Reggae and rock fusion. No. Let me leave that and sing about Russians. Okay, Every Breath You Take is an incredible song. We know that. It's haunting, it's chilling, it's real, and it goes to show you how the offender portrays himself as the victim. Now my poor heart aches with every breath, with every step you take. So he's victim shaming, or he's portraying the victim like, you can't be with me, so it's your fault, and I'm heartbroken because you don't want to have anything to do with me. So excellent perspective on that. It's one of the most misinterpreted songs ever. It's about an obsessive stalker, but it sounds like a love song. So many people were using it for their wedding songs in the 80s, and that's incredibly odd. Yeah,
that's weird. Yeah, well, that's back in the day when people didn't get the sleeve out of the cassette tape and read the lyrics.
In America, this was their biggest hit. In America, this was the biggest hit of 1983, according to Billboard's year-end chart. It stayed at number 1 for 8 weeks, longer than any other song that year. Michael Jackson's Billie Jean was number 2 with a 7-week stay. In a 1983 interview with New Musical Express, Sting explained, "I think it's a nasty little song, really rather evil. It's about jealousy and surveillance and ownership. Regarding the common misinterpretation of the song," he added, "I think the ambiguity is intrinsic in the song. However, you treat it because the words are so sadistic." I mean, Sting knows what the song was about, obviously.
And he knows sex also, obviously.
Sting later mentioned he was watching Andy Gibb singing this on a TV show to some girl, and Sting was pissing himself laughing because he's like, even Andy Gibb thinks my song is a love song. The song is honest, it's unapologetic, and it's very foretelling. This is decades before social media, and now you really can follow people's lives through whatever they post. To me, the guitar part is the best part of the song, and unfortunately, what seemed like a very refreshingly honest and personal song was sold to P. Diddy. What's crazy is that I'll Be Missing You spent 11 weeks at number 1, and let's be honest, P. Diddy didn't change a damn thing about the arrangement of the song. All he did
was dance in the middle and fall off his motorcycle.
It's just a different chorus and he's rapping over it. Essentially what he did was erase Sting's name off the term paper and added his. 1.7 billion YouTube views. This song is has the most radio plays in history. The video, the opening shot of the cigarette in the ashtray was awesome. That black and white noir, Sting stand-up bass, Andy Summers casual guitar, Stuart Copeland's focus drumming. The window washer in the video for no damn apparent reason. This song is 40 years old and it's timeless. Sting shouldn't have left the Police the same way Shaq should have never left the Orlando Magic. This might have nothing to do with the subject, but this had to be the song Sting thought, I could do this shit on my own. So the fact that he broke up the Police, and I remember where I was when they broke up, that's what pisses me off about this song, because I think this is the song Sting said, I could be a solo artist. I could do this shit on my own. I wrote the arrangement. I wrote the lyrics. It's the most popular song of 1983. Get me out of this band and let me make more money. Joseph, what do you think?
I think this is the song that made you wear sunglasses at night because you're so sad and crying about the Police breaking up. Just fucking with you. No, dude, this is Bob, this is actually a really good pick. Yeah, obviously, the thing I like about this selection is it's similar to mine, the sense that it's such a good sounding song that if you, for the most part, overlook the tone of the lyrics and actually reading the lyrics each line by line, every breath you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you every single day, all that shit. It really is a beautiful song. It really is. I get the vibe. I get what people say. We're like, oh, it's a love song. It's such a love song. He loves her so much. He's gonna be with her every day. He'll always be there for her. And I see that. I understand that vibe. And I think it's a cool little balance. But it's also really got that creepy vibe. Sorry, Fast and Furious out there. I don't know if you heard. No, you couldn't? No. Somebody was fucking Tokyo Drift out there.
Again, folks, Joseph lives in the hood.
No, I don't.
He lives right next to a police station and a Burger King. I think he's doing just fine.
It's fun joke. I live right in the center of town.
It was a golf course across the street from his house. Yeah. Like he could literally cross the street and play hole 2.
Stop telling everybody where I live. So I mean, beautiful song. Just when you dive into it, it has that creepy vibe. And yes, there's gonna be the people nowadays, like let's be honest with you, people overanalyze shit from the past. So they probably look at it, and there's probably people that are new, that are in their 20s, that are looking at this song and say like, oh my god, the song is so creepy. Like, this and that, blah blah blah. It's just gonna come down to how you look at it. I don't think Sting if this is his one song, then so be it. I think it's perfect blend of creepy and love. The creepy may outweigh the love, but it's still a very good written song. You listen to it. When it comes on, you're going to silently, if you're in your car, turn it up and listen to it. If it comes on your headphones, you're going to listen to it. It's a really, really good selection, Bob. It's got both factors in it. Like you said, it's got that whole creepy vibe. I mean, it's literally, the name of the song is I'll Be Watching You. So number one, I mean, that helps it.
I love how it fucking fools people. Like it fools people to think, oh, that vibe and the soft piano, and oh my god, and it's such a love song, and then you read the lyrics, you're like, what the fuck? Did you see him crying? And every step you take away from me, like it's fucked up, man. It really is. It definitely gives off, like Randy said, he plays the victim so well, but I love how they make you believe that this is his touching love song, and it's really about a guy that's creepy and obsessive about somebody else who's walking away.
I hung my head. That's a great Sting song. But go ahead. Fine. Another song came to mind.
Like a porn.
We'll Be Together is another decent Sting song that I remembered. But this song, an antagonistic song sung from the protagonist's perspective. And I remember reading Mick Foley's biography one time, and he had said to be a good bad guy, you have to believe that everything you're doing, to be a good villain, I should say, you have to believe that everything you're doing is for the good of everything. And what Sting and the Police did with this song, Every Breath You Take, is that they took that main character who's obviously, damaged, sick, and obsessive, and he's singing the song as if, he's the victim and that he was done wrong and that everything he's doing, I'm watching you, I'm waiting for you, is the right thing to do. And that's what's the beauty of this song. It's a beautiful song. It's creepy, but it's really effective.
It really is. Like it is, dude. It's it's a beautiful sounding song. It is. It's just going to come down to how you look at it. If you're going to go deep dive into the lyrics, then you're going to get that vibe. You're going to see those lyrics. You're going to realize and think differently about it, maybe. So it's a top tier pick there, Bob.
Definitely one that fans will agree with.
Yeah.
So we got our last selection. I'm up, and we talked about how this was a wild card topic because some songs are really good, like just demonstrated right now, Every Breath You Take, and others are really bad, like the song I'm about to talk about, because this song is trash. Before I say what the song is, I want to give some context and background. Obsessing about a former love is a very dangerous game to play, everybody. We tend to recall all the good times. Favorite phrase of mine, euphoric recall, where our minds fool us into thinking the relationship really wasn't that bad. We only reminisce about the good times. Usually it's men who do this to themselves. Usually it's about women who, at the time if you were with her, her Instagram was full of pictures of her and her only looking into the ocean and more selfies with her pets than with you. And the only time you were ever in her pictures when she was taking a selfie, looking lovingly into the camera, and you kind of snuck behind, smiling like a goofball, probably dressed 2 or 3 levels beneath her.
That's so specific.
From our reader's email today. Anyway, okay, if this is going on in your relationship, bail out now and don't listen to Hinder's Lips of an Angel. A, because you'll succumb to that euphoric recall, and B, it's the scuzziest, slimiest, most obsessive song out there, and it's trash. This woman I described, you know, the one that makes you miserable, who also has you completely convinced you cannot do better than her. If you happen to break free and if you happen to move on to a healthier relationship, if this woman is as toxic as the female subject in this song, she will make sure to get the job done and continue to ruin your life by trying to lure you back simply because she can still control you. And that's what this song is about. So the subject of this song is about having trouble letting go of a former love, hence the obsession. You can go 2 ways with an obsession song. It can be a great song, or it can be a song that's so tonally deaf and ignorant that that's all the band is ever known for. I can't name another Hinder song. And people were obsessed with this song. 3 million downloaded ringtones. It charted at number 3 on the Billboard list. A shocking 308 million YouTube views. If you watch the video, the lead singer looks like someone playing an emo character on a Saturday Night Live skit. He's got the flat iron hair, the tattoos, skinny shoulders. It looks like a spoof. He has this beautiful girlfriend sitting 20 feet across from him. She's in her underwear, and he picks up a dated cordless phone, and it's his ex-girlfriend. Right on cue, he's making the goofiest fucking faces of all time. I mean, the acting is really bad in this video. Then you see the girl he's remembering is Emmanuel Shrieky, who played E's girlfriend on Entourage, and you almost forgive him. You almost do. Until he shows up to band practice in a vest and a scarf. So that lands on another obsession, the lead singer being obsessed with himself. Let me have 2 beautiful women who want me. I'm involved with the blonde and the brunette. I have this complex. It was very narcissistic, in my opinion. As this self-centered asshole contorts himself in this video, he's essentially completely dismissing and disrespecting his current relationship due to his unhealthy obsession with his ex, and he's being a total scumbag about it by talking to her with his girlfriend, talking to his ex with his current girlfriend with an earshot. Of course, he ends the song with a profound "Honey, why are you calling me so late?" lyric to mean not only late at night, but too late in life. And the video's ending is ambiguous because he hangs up the phone and you can tell he's still thinking about her. Yet he's professing his love and obsession to this ex. And the fact that she called him, you know the story isn't over. They ran around on the beach together. He only took his current girlfriend to band practice. You know who he liked better. The song title is also kind of a sneaky double entendre, which makes it kind of scummier. I'm not going to explain it, without my vest and scarf, but you guys think about it. Lips of an Angel. Anyway, people on YouTube, they love this song. It hits differently when you're older, they wrote. I know this feeling. People were talking about how great this song was, which I couldn't believe because this is an awful song. It's about a dude who should have answered the phone and said, "Bitch, are you crazy? She's right here in front of me," and hung up. That would have spared us this song. I'm sure he had his ex's number saved under Pizza Hut or something. So, Bob and Joseph, it's really good to hear your voices respond to this. It sounds so sweet. What do you guys have to say?
Bitch, my family's here.
The Dave Chappelle.
Oh man. Okay, so
and I know it's a bad song, so you don't have to debate me on that.
No, I know that. I know. We're not. If this was the worst song ever written in the early 2000s, Randy, I wouldn't even argue with you. You were picking this from a different type of obsession. I honestly, okay. So your argument was, and this is a reason for selection, is the guy, the singer, the protagonist writing a song about an ex-girlfriend or so that he's still obsessed with. I didn't see that until you were making your point, and I can see that. But the first thing I think about when I hear this song is, one, is fucking stupid. Two, the girl is yes, I agree with you. I'm not you, for the most part, Rand, you agree that this is a piece of shit song.
Yes.
I can't believe it. Like what you said earlier about it. The numbers of this song is crazy. Anyway, the girl is obviously crazy. The girl calling, the ex-girlfriend, and just looking to start trouble. But I think this guy is an asshole. If he's obsessive, okay, he may be a little obsessive. He may still be obsessed with the ex-girlfriend. Obsessed, yeah, maybe. Still in love with? Sure, it definitely sounds like that. I get more that this guy is a piece of shit. Like you mentioned, he's got a girl, at least in the video, the visual story of the video. The girl is beautiful. What's her name? I can't
Emmanuel Shrieky.
Yeah, beautiful woman, great actress. I don't remember who played the girlfriend.
I Googled it. I could not find out who that was, but she was equally as beautiful.
I mean, yes.
He definitely screenshot a picture of her, though.
I mean, very, 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 very beautiful. Very, very beautiful women.
Incognito mode.
Pizza. Oh, it's pepperonis.
Jesus.
Finish your thoughts.
Less hand gestures, please.
But my whole thing from this song is from listening to this song is that the point of view that the lead singer, the guy is an asshole. If you were writing a song about the biggest asshole in music, who wrote who's the biggest asshole in music writing history, it's this guy. He's clearly just still in love with his ex-girlfriend or whatever. The ex-girlfriend seems to be in love with him, so yeah, why don't they just do the right thing, the adult thing, break up with their spouses and get back together? It's like it kind of just,
because she needs money, Joseph.
It adds to it more to the point where Randy said that it's one of the dumbest fucking songs, because the whole story is pointless. Just get back with your girlfriend. Agree. I understand the obsessive nature of it. I guess to the point where, like, okay, I'm so obsessed with her, when she calls, I'm gonna sneak off and try to find a place to talk to her secretly, because I'm so in love and I think about her, and I thought about her the other day. Yeah, I get that obsessive vibe, but it's more so, like I said, that this guy is just a fucking asshole. Break up with the girl that you're dating. Try to go get back with your ex. It's a horrible song in general, just because it is, and thankfully you agree with that. But I think you're just slightly off on the, I don't know, and I could be wrong. We'll have the listeners will tell us whether or not they agree. I just think it's more of he's a piece of shit. Bob?
That was good. You see the video, and before I get into like the comedy, you got the lead singer with that Kate and 8+8, Karen haircut, the fucking wife beater. He doesn't even have a cell phone. She's calling him on his fucking landline. This is the late 2000s, like 2006, 2007.
Well, this is 2000. Song came out in 2004, so yeah, we had cell phones.
2000. I thought it was 2006. Yeah, there are cell phones. Fuck, come on,
2006. Yeah,
he's a fucking rock star. Give me a break. He doesn't have a fucking cell phone. Not even like we all had Nokias playing Snake on it, and he's getting fucking phone calls on his landline. Jeez, give me a break. Need to fucking let it go. And I get it. Like this one doesn't give off the creepy vibe, the stalker vibe. This is more like, man, he's still obsessed with his ex-girlfriend, but like Joe said, it seems like she's just as obsessed with him, calling him when she needs something, and he's still in love with her. It's really good to hear your voice. So it's a fucking shitty song, and they're fucking shitty people. They should just, like Joe said, break up with whoever they're with and get back together. I can't believe
he has a picture of her still in his house. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm watching the video as Bob.
There's a lot wrong with it. The guy in the white beater and the fucking emo Karen haircut and the using his fucking phone that he probably hasn't charged all day, landline, to talk to his ex-girlfriend. So it's one of those songs. So when we finally came up with a great title, the Obsessive song and the Stalker song, and we don't want to use the word stalker, but the Obsessive song. This one does fit the vibe, and then it also doesn't fit the vibe. Like I said, if he was just calling and leaving voicemails, I would really like to hear your voice calling my name. It'd be so sweet. Then I could say like, oh, this is fucking definitely over obsessive, that type of thing. But since she called him and he's responding, like, I don't get the obsessive vibe. Maybe that they're both obsessed about
with each
other.
other. Yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. I think they're just still in love with each other. I think that's what it is. So I don't really get the obsessed vibe. I think they're just still in love with each other. It still makes for a shitty song and a shitty video and a shitty scenario.
She's not obsessed. I mean? She's not crazy.
You got a hot girl in her underwear sitting right next to you, and you don't give a shit. Then it's time to tell her to move out. Maybe after that you can afford your own place or your own cell phone at least. Jesus Christ.
So let me tell you this: the antithesis of this song. Are you guys familiar with Randy Travis's "On the Other Hand"? Great country song.
Probably.
Yes, Randy, I know it is. Yes, I know the song.
On the Other Hand is a great song. So On the Other Hand, that song is about Randy Travis falling for a girl, and then he sees she's got a ring on her left hand. On the other hand, so he says, "Hey, that ring is telling me to back off. I wish we could continue this." And he just fucks off. That's what this guy should have been listening to when he wrote this song and said, like, "Oh, why are you calling me so late? It's really good to hear you." And
he was listening to Hey the Delilah. Did you see his nail polish and hairstyle? Give me a break.
So, I mean, it's just such a scumbag song. And I think the obsession has to do a lot with not only the girl, the ex-girlfriend, but also the video plays out like he's living a normal, happy life with this blonde girl, his current girlfriend. He's going to band practice, and then he's living a double life, calling this girl in the middle of the night and obsessing over her and thinking about all the great memories of being at the beach and in his van and all that other stuff. So it's just, I don't know, it's a weird song. It's just a weird song, and I think it's just full of obsessive behavior.
I'm getting a weird vibe now from Conway Twitty's "I See the Want To in Your Eyes."
It's very sexual.
I see the sparkling little diamond
that guy
on your hand.
That guy has kids he's never met.
Yeah.
Okay, so the lyrics to that song, I see the want to in your eyes. It's kind of like this. Like, okay, the girl clearly wants to, call him so late.
I'll tell you one thing, you know what the worst thing about this fucking song is? This is the worst thing about the song. Later on that year, Jack Ingram, a country singer, fucking covered the song, a country version of it. And then you're listening, like, it's one of those things where you're like, I'm fucking tired of that song. And they finally stop playing it. And then the country version comes out. You're like, motherfucker, we're never going to get the end of this shit.
But on on the video, he's obsessing about his old horse, right?
No bullshit, dude. I had to, because we're going to talk about this. This is your selection, so I had to kind of get some visual of the song too. Yes, the original video. Yes, the cover by the country artist, but the dude, the singer, because apparently he's not in the band anymore. I don't know if the Hinder's still together, but he
went back to Buck Cherry.
No, it's a different guy. He kind of looks like Buck Cherry. No, he kind of looks like him. You're right. So apparently he left the band and they carried on. He just did, according to YouTube, this was uploaded 2 days ago, re-recorded this song with somebody named Shailene, and they just uploaded the video. It's basically the same song. Like, it sounds exactly the same. He's trying to bring it back. This motherfucker.
So let me ask you guys this.
Motherfucker.
If a female sung this song, would it be a better song? Change the lyrics up? No?
No, I think it's the same shit.
I'm sorry. Say the question again, but
okay,
give me the criteria.
If a female song,
you just wanted to yell that right before.
If a female sung this song, would it be any better?
Is it the female from the female perspective of
the guy female calling? Perspective? Obviously, some of the lyrics would have to change.
If she was calling him, then fuck no.
I think we wouldn't. But here's the thing. I was gonna say my answer to that would be we would kind of be saying, well, why are you being a bitch and why is he being an asshole? Y'all are both in relation. I still say the same thing. Y'all are both in relationships. Get your shit together. Just be together if you want to be together. But maybe this pick makes sense for you, man, because it doesn't have to be told. We all agree it's a horrible song, but maybe you're looking at it from the wrong perspective, and I'm kind of helping you here. Maybe the obsession is the ex-girlfriend. Where's the obsessive point?
I think it's both. I think you have a double obsession there. Yeah.
Both?
Yeah.
I'm getting it more from the girl.
I think the girl sees him happy. His band is prospering. He's got a beautiful new girlfriend. She's like, how can I fuck up his life?
Let me just keep him hanging on. Let me just fuck him over a little bit.
You never do nothing.
Can't believe he's happy. How dare he have the audacity to be happy without
his nails like that? I didn't ever wear eyeshadow for me.
But again, like in the beginning of the video, why does he have a fucking picture of her on his desk where the phone is? I mean, please tell me your girlfriend. How did your girlfriend? Your landline ring?
My dead ex-girlfriend.
Fucking landline is ringing.
Sarah. It looks like a resume photo, by the way. It looks like a headshot. It doesn't even look like, like anything seductive or sexy. But yeah, he does have a picture of her, which is odd.
You can't mute a landline. You cannot tell me that your girl didn't hear the fucking phone ring.
But the faces he's making, like he's trying to hide it, like my girlfriend is... You know the faces he was making.
Yeah, the fucking music video is terrible.
Get ready for screenshots of this dumbass's face.
Yeah.
So, guys, final thoughts about Obsessive songs.
Read the lyrics, guys. I think everybody should kind of go back. And I'm sure that everybody out there has a few favorite songs from the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Go back and read the lyrics, and you're going to find that they're way more perverted, way more obsessive, way different than what you actually thought the song was about. If you really get into the lyrics, get into some of the lyrics, dive into some of them, look some shit up on YouTube, and you'll see you freak out with a lot of the songs that you thought were talking about one thing, but then you find out they were in like Mandy talking about his dog, right? Is that what the story was?
I mean, Whoop, there it is not what I thought it was about, but I still sing it. Anyway, Joseph, what are your thoughts?
In our research, you didn't see anything that was more recent. You didn't see Randy chose a selection of the early 2000s. So at least he has something in mind that's, kind of early 2000s is 20 years ago now or just about.
Crazy.
But
no shit.
Why was it so my big question is, why is it so focused on the 80s? Is it because they were so catchy? So the songs are so catchy that everybody was just like,
I think
it's cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's cool. We can dance.
The 80s, I think it's all about surveillance. We were, the Cold War was going on. We didn't have social media, so everybody was left to be, pondering about what's going on with that person. Let me think about what that person is, and that self-consumption and that me generation. I think that's why the 80s were such a big decade for these obsessive songs. I think it's a topic that will always endure. You can't have what you want, but you need what you want. That's a great topic for any song. These are anthems for unrequited love, and music is about exaggerations. And when musicians sing about things that they think their fans are going through, their fans are going to eat it up and consume it. And that's why these songs always endure.
You just described Bono in a nutshell.
So, guys, we got to wrap up. So, real quick, we had a few celebrity deaths this week. Some people we really admired: Terry Funk, Bray Wyatt, and Bob Barker. Do you guys want to take maybe 30 seconds to talk about at least one of these individuals in a quick memory you'd like to share?
Bob Barker. I grew up, and speaking of being home, I've been homesick all week, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show. When I was a kid and you'd stay home in the summer, you were homesick from school, you watched The Price is Right every time it was on, man. And all the games, favorite game, Plinko. Come on,
Plinko,
man.
Best.
If they're doing the putting thing, Bob Barker's gonna sink that putt. I used to love all the games. Obviously, I tried to throw in the Showcase Showdown. You're like, no, dude, why the fuck are you picking that one? The next one's gonna have a car. Why would you choose the appliances? Fuck that. And then you get older and you're like, man, that stove was really nice. I'm glad he won that. The Price is Right was just huge part of us growing up, and seeing him on Happy Gilmore was just amazing, hilarious, and just crazy good, dude. It's a big part of our childhood, and it was kind of sad to see. But I mean, he lived to 99. That's just incredible, dude. If I lived that long, I wouldn't want anybody to cry at my funeral. I'd be like, dude, I made it. Fuck, 99. That's crazy. But yeah, Bob Barker, man, God bless you.
Great points.
Closest to $1 without going over. Man.
Yeah.
I could do real quick for all three. Specifically for us three, we grew up together. When Bob and I were kids, we were at Randy's house. So watching The Price is Right was definitely almost like a daily thing while we were growing up. So great human being, charitable work and everything. It's a major loss. But like Bob said, he lived a hell of a life, and he did a lot of amazing things. Terry Funk, obviously, Chainsaw Charlie and all of his characters, great matches. Him and Mick Foley put on together some great shows. Those were always fun and entertaining. And Bray Wyatt, in the beginning, I didn't want to like the character. And this is more towards the later end of the generation of where we kind of stopped watching daily. He was more on in that generation. But man, did he take that character? Did he make it his own and turn it into this massive thing? And that character became so iconic. The Bray Wyatt character, what's his? I can't remember his
The
real name.
Fiend. Oh, Wyndham Rotunda.
Wyndham Rotunda. The actual name and of the individual, but his character Bray Wyatt, it's just it's going to go up there as one of these like unbelievably iconic characters, and unfortunately it wasn't around for so long. But yeah, 3, it's crazy, man. 3, 1, 2, 3 real quick, and it was just, and they all kind of had some effect on us in one way or another.
Real quick on the 3, Bob Barker he was our babysitters when we were sick, when we were, eating crackers and drinking Sprite and 7-Up and
hot Sprite. It can't be cold. It's gonna be out of the box. Hot Sprite make you burp it all out.
We were watching The Price is Right, and it was just part of your routine every time you're absent. What am I going to do? I'm going to watch HBO. Maybe they'll show Clue, and then I'm going to watch Price is Right, and then I'm going to take a nap, and then wake up.
Oh, no, we got to watch Young and the Restless first, and then we take a nap. We got to see what's going on and what bullshit drama is going on, then nap.
As for Terry Funk, I grew up watching Terry Funk since the 80s. I remember his stint in WWF and then going to WCW, and when he was a old man doing moonsaults off the top rope in those hardcore matches. I mean, what a legend. And lastly, Bray Wyatt, what a Wyndham Rotunda, what an entrance with the Wyatt family. They had that Devil's Reject sort of vibe to them. Yeah. And then he reinvented himself into the Fiend. And he just was so talented. He didn't look like your average superstar. He had some heft to him, and he didn't look like a wrestler. He looked like a rocker or like a psychopath. I mean, he just really put his all into these characters.
And the moves he was able to do as that, like how you just mentioned, not your typical
Hulk Hogan,
Hulk Hogan-esque or Rock, figure of a wrestler, but he was so like athletic. He really was. Some of the things that he can do, that crab walk thing that he used to do, like insane. Like, I mean, he was awesome. He really was. And that was a big loss, I think.
I'm old enough to remember. We all remember his father, Mike Rotunda, IRS. His grandfather, Blackjack Mulligan. So he came from 3 generations of pro wrestling, and what an innovator. And all 3 of these individuals who helped us create memories of wrestling and staying home from school, may they rest in peace. And that's our show, everyone. Listeners, we'd love to hear from you. Hit us up and let us know what your favorite, most obsessive song is. Most importantly, let us know what you think of the show. You may reach us at formidableopponents@gmail.com and follow us on all forms of social media by searching for Formidable Opponents. We want to thank Creative Little Pill for her great artwork. Please follow her on Instagram at Creative Little Pill. Please subscribe, rate, and review us on any podcast platform you're listening to us on. And join us next episode. We'll be back next week with best song from a fictional band. So for Bob and Joseph, this is Randall. We'll see y'all next week.
Every piece of cake, every pie you take, every milk you shake. I'll be watching.